Saturday morning, I just pulled up to the gym. I had a rough day yesterday. Um, I guess about probably actually 4 or 5 months ago, I had a guy on my podcast named Frank Rich. He used to be a bodybuilder, and he helps people get free from porn addiction. So, great guy. We kind of hit it off, became friends, and I made a commitment to him uh, after that episode ended while we were still on our call. He kind of challenged me to never look at porn again. And I made that commitment to him, and I did it for like 3 months. I didn't look at pornography, and to be honest, it wasn't even hard. It just kind of like the desire was gone. And then on Halloween night, I I looked at pornography, and I don't really know what it was. I mean, I was at an event, at a Halloween party, and something about, I guess, coming home alone after being at such a high, and then feeling sorry for myself that I was going home alone after so long of doing this, I guess. Um, but I texted him the next day, and I told him that I messed up, and uh, basically told him that I was back on it, back on the wagon, I guess. And then I did it for another month, and then Thanksgiving night, I messed up again. And I don't know what it is about the holidays specifically. I think it's just really hard, a lot harder on singles around the holidays or on the holidays, because you really feel the weight of being alone, being single. And yeah, yesterday was just tough because I don't know. It's like some people might think, I don't know what they think. Maybe some people think I'm being too extreme. All I know is I feel like shit after I look at porn. I do not like the way I feel about myself. I feel shame. I feel like, like this was the thing that messed me up, that always tripped me up and caused me to, get away from God and the things that I want most. And there's this verse in the Bible. It says, like a dog returns to its vomit, so people return to their sin. And I feel like for me, that's what it is. It's like returning to my vomit. It's the thing that I don't want to do that I do. And the thing that I do want to do, I don't do. Paul talked about that. And it's just this wrestling. So yesterday I signed a covenant with God. It's something that I do. If I start to see this sin in particular rearing its ugly head, I'll sign a covenant with God where I basically remind myself of all that I'm working on, all that I have to be grateful for, all that I need His help with. And then I'll ask Him, look, God, I'm not going to look lustfully at a woman for this period of time. I made it for 60 days is what I did it. And that just means, not even just pornography. That means just like holding a thought in my head or like staring at a girl's ass or whatever. Like, I mean, I'm not intentionally going to look lustfully at a woman. And I ask for His help to keep that promise. But if I do, I'm like asking Him to help me accomplish everything that I'm working on, because I know that I can't do it on my own. And without Him, I'm going to be in this season of wilderness longer. So I'm willing to, I don't even want to say make certain sacrifices, but just, I'm willing to go through a sanctification process in order to get His blessing and His hand, because I do think that there's a direct correlation between obedience and blessing. Like God, when you're obeying Him, that He moves on your behalf. I think that's very biblical. So it's like if you're out there and, engaging in a lifestyle of sin, and then you're asking for God to bless this thing over here, it's like, is He really going to answer? I mean, He might, because He's gracious, but I think a lot of it puts you in a position where you don't even feel like you deserve it, mentally, where you're like, you're doing dirt. So you're not even asking with a sense of expectancy. So that's it. Signed a covenant. Oh, and then the other part of the covenant is if you don't you basically say, look, if I don't keep my promise to you, God, I'm asking you to punish me severely. And, you know, that gives you a little extra incentive to kind of behave yourself and push through if there's a tough time. Because, I mean, honestly, I think sometimes I've used pornography as a drug, you know, where it's like, I want to feel something, I want to escape. And, you know, I guess that's, so it's like willing to go through those periods where you just suck it up, you know, where you're just like, hey, that's not an option. And, you know, there's been many a nights when I've signed these things that I just go to bed depressed or angry or frustrated or whatever emotion that I'm feeling because the breakthrough hasn't came yet. So that's it. And sorry to let anyone down out there that this might let down. I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress. I'm improving every day, I believe, you know, and you know, I'll do better. So love you guys.